Hey everyone, welcome to Queerly Recommended, the podcast where we recommend queer books, films, TV shows, and more. I'm Tara Scott, and I review sapphic fiction at the Lesbian Review and Smart Bitches Trashy Books. And this week, I'm recommending a recently released sapphic romance.
And I'm Kris Bryant, a contemporary romance writer for Bold Strokes Books. And this week I'm recommending a film from 2022.
All right, Kris, everybody is waiting. What is up with our favorite kitten?
So Teddy is a Spitfire.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness. He's
Mm-hmm.
adorable.
Mm-hmm.
And guess who's not happy with him being around?
Uh-oh, is it Orange Kitty or Black Kitty?
Yes.
Well, it's got to be one of them or it's Deb. So
Or both, yeah. So Orange Kitty is tolerable. I always yell,
Okay.
he's a baby, he's a baby. He's and here, but he
Mm-hmm.
like he tolerates him. But
Mm-hmm.
not really. We let him do their little cat kitten thing for about 5 seconds, and then I pull them apart.
Yeah.
Black Kitty is absolutely fuck no. I'm out. Like my
Oh,
my love, my sweet Black Kitty, like
yeah.
swiped at Teddy today, and even Teddy was like, "Oh no." Yeah, so he's a big cat too. So
Hmm.
I'm like, this isn't gonna work.
Was
So,
Teddy annoying him?
of course, like he's a kitten. He's gonna annoy the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
So what we have to do is we have to play like musical cats, and I have to
Hmm.
put Teddy in the office and let the
Hmm.
other two eat and then go do what they have to do, and then they go in the bedroom and sleep for 10 hours. So shut the door, and then Teddy has full run. And
Okay.
then when Orange Kitty and Black Kitty want out, they knock on the door, and then I rearrange the cats, and then they come out and do their thing, and then they want to go outside.
So I guess it's not like with a puppy where like Henry would try it with Ember and she would just like knock him over. Like a
Yeah,
just like a
no.
loving fuck you, dude.
Well, I think because Teddy he has no idea. So
Mm.
like he doesn't know how his little teeth hurt or how his little murder mittens, they kind of hurt.
So cats don't teach other cats how to be they don't
Well,
teach
if
kittens
they
how to be cats.
I don't know because I've never had a full-grown cat and a kitten in the same place together. Like it's never
Hmm.
happened for me. So I don't know. I'm winging it here. I'm pretending like I'm a, helicopter mom. I'm chasing after him all the time. He's fast.
Hmm.
This is the fastest kitten in the Midwest. Super fast. This is funny. So the other night,
Hmm.
so here's the deal. So Teddy has to be put up at night because he will destroy us in the bedroom. Like
Yeah.
he has so much energy and he just runs and runs and scratches on everything. And Debbie's like, absolutely no.
Hmm.
So he stays in the office. He's got that's a safe zone. So
Yep.
he stays there. And so the other night I was putting him up and I told Debbie, I was like, you have to be very careful. So you have to like kind of put him like far enough away from the door and try to close it. So I'm telling her this. I'm like
Mhm.
telling her, hey, so you have to be real careful and. And she's like, oh, by the way, Teddy got out. As I was closing the door, I missed it completely. And he ran off and went to one of the bedrooms.
That's
So
how fast he is.
he is so fast and he is so much fun.
Hmm.
And I absolutely love this. I'm sad that it's going to take the other cats some time to get used to him. I'm sad about that.
Hmm.
But I know Teddy's not going to be a kitten forever, so I'm just milking it for all it's worth. I'm
Yeah.
running him ragged. I'm playing with the little fishing line. We play
Hmm.
the fishing pole. There's these little tiny puff. I think I talked about them last time. They're itty bitty like cotton balls, but they're real
Hmm.
tight and they're different colors.
Yeah.
And he loves them. Like he's a soccer cat. Like
Cute.
FIFA, he would play on any of the teams. He would do so well. He's so quick. And
Yeah.
I just adore him. So that is my Teddy update. He's still adorable and I still love him to death.
Good.
Hmm.
Good.
Yeah, yeah. And I decided, no, it wasn't my decision. It was somebody else's decision. I'm not going to say who, but well, again, I can't say.
Sure.
Um, I had a 20-month-old and a 9-year-old in this tiny postage stamp size house for an overnight. And
Oh, okay. How'd that go?
uh, I have no words.
Everyone's
Like
still alive, so that's good.
everyone's still alive, although the 9-year-old was practicing parkour off the
Yeah.
furniture.
Yeah.
Um, because that's what they do, apparently.
Hmm. Are these two siblings?
No, they are cousins.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
So we had Lincoln, and it started with
Hmm.
Lincoln.
God, he's already 20 months.
Isn't that crazy?
That
Yeah,
has flown by.
and he is a tank. He's a tank of a
Hmm.
boy. He's absolutely adorable. So that's the plan because there's like the whole weekend, his mom's going to be gone. And so
Oh,
we're
it
like,
hasn't
yeah,
happened yet.
no, no, no. Yeah. So we had him. So
Okay.
we had him for the week for the just a like a 24.3 hours. No, I'm just kidding. We
Uh-huh.
had him for an
Uh-huh.
overnight and then some. But one of the other kids wanted to come over. And so was not discussed with me. That's fine.
Okay.
And I'm like, I heard about like that is a bad idea. Like that is just a bad idea because there's going to be a lot of energy
Hmm.
and it's really hard to get the baby to sleep.
Uh-huh.
So yeah. And plus babies go to bed early, pretty early. And
Hmm.
9-year-olds stay up later. So
Hmm.
yeah, it was the longest 28, 30 hours of my life. It's very long. Sweet kids, but a lot.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Kids
yeah.
are a lot.
Kids, yeah. There isn't when you're not around them. Like babies are one thing, toddlers are another thing, and then you get a kid that's like self-sufficient and has an imagination, which is amazing, and
Hmm.
just kind of let them loose. And what they do is like, how is this happening? I
Hmm.
just look at him like, what? What are you doing? What
Yeah.
makes you think this is okay? But
Hmm.
it's fun though to see things like I have this massive bubble blower thing. You dip it in
Yeah.
the bubble stuff and like we're talking hundreds of bubbles come out. It's like a
Yeah.
huge thing.
Yeah.
So then he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do." So he's shooting this with one hand, and on the other hand, he has this like I don't. It's like a squirt gun.
Hmm.
So he's like shooting the bubbles, and then he's shooting the bubbles. So he's like, yeah. So and he's doing all these things like rolling and like it's just. I'm like, where does he
Yeah.
get the energy? Like, I need to bottle that up, take it, sell it, something,
Yes.
because whew, that was a very highly energetic weekend for me. So
Uh-huh.
this weekend will be very relaxing for me, I promise.
Good.
Yeah, I will be doing very little. So
Good.
that,
As it should be.
right, that is what's going on with me. What about you?
Well, I started going to a chiropractor and I opened it by saying, I need you to know I'm highly skeptical. I'm sorry, not highly
Ah,
skeptical. I need you to know I'm a little skeptical of chiropractors because my mom worked for one many years ago
oh,
who did, and she goes, "Oh, like a crack your back kind." And I was like, "Yep." And like, I still remember like going to him to like sort out some kind of a back issue. It was like in my early 20s and
mm,
I had just started working and I went from, like being more physically active to working a desk job.
mhm.
And I had this, and it was like a muscular pain anyway, but I remember him going to crack my back and the way he had me twist up and he was gonna like
Stop.
put that pressure on me and
Oh,
I wouldn't let him do it because it was like my whole I'm gonna die instinct kicked in. And she's like, yeah, we're not gonna do that. So I'm seeing if that can
no.
help with I have like jaw issues, I have TMJ, and we're gonna see if we can fix that. If
Oh,
that'll help with some of the headaches and the migraines. And it was
oh,
really interesting to go to somebody expecting adjustments. And she's like, do you have hypermobility? And I said, that's what Chad said. Chad was my physiotherapist who helped me with all my other injuries that I got
hmm.
exercising. I don't know if you remember, I
I do.
sprained my ankle real bad during a lockdown, and then I re-sprained it real bad again during the next lockdown when you couldn't go to physio. And he had told me he saw like the way I could extend, like if I was stretching my wrist, the way I could extend my forearm and how my elbow comes up. And he's like, "Don't do that. You're hypermobile. Don't do that one." And
Oh,
so she's like, "Do you have hypermobility?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "Yes." And she's like, "We're not going to actually do adjustments. We're going to do soft tissue work." So I've been getting like needles in my jaw and a
oh,
lot of the
wow.
weirdest, absolute weirdest yesterday. I went for it was my second treatment and she was talking about I think it's like your voice box has like two different there's like a phalanx and a something or and larynx. And she
Mhm.
was like grabbing parts of my throat to move
Oh.
them around and stretch things. And I was like, oh, I feel like I finally am starting to get a sense of what it would be like to be choked, and I don't love it. And she's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yes, because you told me what you're
Stop.
doing." Like
Right.
she
Oh, I can
announces
imagine
everything.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if there's any, and
No.
she did stop at one point because I was clearly
Oh,
like, I forget what I did to signal that I wasn't okay. We took a little break. It's so weird.
I just thinking about it. Yep. Nope. Mm-mm. That's
Mm,
tough. That's tough.
but we'll see. It could be I think it could be helpful. Like it's been a couple good days for
Good.
headaches, so I don't know. Promising, but it was interesting to go from like, yeah, I don't think that's for me. It's kind of witch doctory to like, you know what, worth a try. Even my family doctor at one point,
Right.
when I asked him about it, he's like, I mean, worth a try. And I was like,
Right.
okay, fair enough. Because he will be
Yeah.
very free with his opinion around like, no, why don't you set your money on fire? That doesn't make sense. It's quackery. So
Love it.
and then the other thing is, I had a couple of coworkers come to town, so that was great. One of
Yes.
them is from Edmonton, which is like a 3 hour drive from here. The other one from Toronto, and so we did this fabulous dinner on Monday at a local. It's like a really trendy Indian restaurant that was just, oh my God, it was so good. I've never been.
Mm.
I've always wanted to go.
Ooh.
Now I want to take everybody there. It was just so delicious. And then the next day, those two and I took both days off, and those two and we went to Drumheller, which is a town that's about an hour and a half from where I live. It has a phenomenal dinosaur museum. Like it's one of the
Ooh.
world's best dinosaur museums. So if you want to go see a whole T-Rex skeleton and a bunch of ceratopses and a bunch
Nice.
of other stuff, that's the place to do it. And it's out in an area called the Badlands, and we got to see. It's so cool. Like on the way there, like I live in a city in the suburbs, and if you drive like 15, 20 minutes, it's canola fields. And like the
Wow.
canola fields are all bright yellow, and there were a bunch of them between here and
Mm.
there. And then when you get there in the Badlands, it was like there used to be a shallow ocean. That's why there's so many fossils that are found here. But you see these hills where you can see the layers as the
Cool.
erosion happened over time. And so it's this really stark difference between the layers in the hills, but also it's bright green right now because it's July and there's been a lot of rain. It's so beautiful. And I sent you some photos of
Yes.
hoodoos. Anybody
Kudos.
who doesn't know what they are, look them up. Hoodoos. They're these really cool structures that happened like as a result of
Hmm.
erosion. Like
It
it's
looks
just beautiful.
alien.
It does. It looks like something from
It's
another
like a
planet.
Mars. Yeah. It's it's really cool.
I think it was just really great to step away for a day, hang out with
Hmm.
friends I never get to see in person, and also just this reminder that like where I live is so beautiful and there's so
Right.
many landscapes that are not that far away. And yes, our politics suck. I hate it. I hate the politics here,
Oh,
but I love how beautiful my province is.
yeah.
So that was pretty fun.
That's cool.
Mhm. All right, Kris, what have you been watching when you have not been chasing a teeny tiny bug?
It has, like I said, I am trying to, because I work. And so when I come home, I want to play with Teddy.
Yeah.
And how do parents do this? I just like, you can't have favorites. And I have to give each cat equal time. And that's really
Hmm.
hard. So I have to try to like get Teddy's energy out and stuff. So yeah, so I've only been watching television. I haven't really had a chance to do much of anything, but I'm watching a really good show. I love it
Hmm.
so much. I'm watching The Pit, second season. I'm on second season now.
Hmm.
So let's get into it because this is a fantastic show. And there is some queerness there.
Hey, that's good.
Hey, yeah. So and I can't wait. So Debbie and I are we watched the first season and it takes place in one day. So
Hmm.
every episode is 1 hour of that day.
Oh yeah, it's like 24, but
Yeah, 24, but it's
but in a
15, I
hospital.
guess. Yeah. So, which I love. I love that. And so we have maybe 3 episodes left of second season,
Hmm.
but I can't wait to turn around and show Deb ER because she's never seen it. So she gets
Oh,
to see,
really?
yeah, so she gets to see Noah Wiley as a baby.
He was a
Now, yeah,
baby.
just a baby. So like I see him and I have a giant television and his face is so big. And I
Hmm.
just want to moisturize his face.
We were never intended to see faces at that size and scale.
Right. Yeah. And it's just like that's all I want to do. Like I see him and he's a nice looking man and I just want to like moisturize his face.
Hmm.
I do.
I feel like there's
Um,
too much detail in
There's a
television.
lot.
There's too much
Yeah.
detail in TVs now. Have you ever done that?
Hmm.
Like you go back to watch something old, something from like a few
Yeah,
decades
because they
ago, and it's
put
like,
that dreamy stuff on. Yeah. Like
well,
some of
but
the
then depending on like if you have the settings too sharp, it looks like you're actually watching a shitty stage play.
That's true. That's true. It does.
Hmm.
It looks like it's yeah, like a soap opera. I always call it the soap opera look. And
Oh,
so then you have to change it to like movie setting or whatever. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
terrible.
I think of it like there was a BBC miniseries that I saw from like the 1970s where like it very
Stop.
much looked like a stage play.
I know when that first happened, like my sister, like her at the time boyfriend, they got the TV and I'm like, why does your TV look like a soap opera? Like, I don't like this.
Yes.
But it was really big and like we'd go over there to watch everything. And I'm just like, I don't like this. And so then they
Yeah.
figured out we have to change the settings. So here's a story about the pit. Let me tell you the
Hmm.
story.
Hmm.
So my sister's fiance had an emergency appendectomy last night.
Brutal.
So I go busting
Did they
in. I'm
get it
like,
before it burst?
yes, they did. But like
Oh, good.
there was like pus and gangrene starting to
Gross.
set in. Yeah. So he has to stay there for a while. But
Hmm.
I bust in. I'm like, I've seen the pit. Let's go. I can help you. Like I've been watching like
I'll
it's
get it
been like
myself.
24 hours of the pit. I'm pretty sure I'm a doctor at this point.
Hmm.
It's kind of like when you watch any baking show or any sort of cooking
Oh, yeah.
show. When you first start it, you don't know anything, and then by the eighth episode, you know, like you need to put that in at this
Yeah, you're like,
temperature.
why did you decorate it that way,
Right.
you fool?
I know. Why did you put it in the oven when it's supposed to be blah? So
Hmm.
that's how I feel about the pit. And we just kind of laughed about it. My sister just laughed because, she knows I'm always on watching television and she
Yeah.
never watches TV. So I'm always like, you should watch the pit. The pit. That's what we're watching right now. It's really, really good. She's like, yeah, no. And I'm like, I'm a doctor now. Dr. Kris is here in the house. So
You skipped the MCAT.
I
It's
did.
perfect.
I skipped it, and it's really there's so much going on there. I highly recommend it. And there are, like I said, there are some queer characters. I'm in it
Hmm.
for the storyline and just kind of like I don't understand anything that they're doing, but it's so fascinating to me.
Mm.
So, and it
Yeah.
was funny when my sister sent a message. She's like, "Hey, we're at the hospital. Don't freak out," because she knows I a lot of times I look at her location. I just check.
Okay.
Actually, we're checking in on my dad, but when you look at locations, it shows all your family and
Yeah. All
friends.
your people.
And so she knows. So she says, "Hey, we're at the hospital. Don't freak out. Russell's having some issues with the stomach." And so she's like, "We think it's his appendix." And Debbie's over there. Maybe it's a kidney stone because on the TV there's somebody who's dealing with a kidney stone.
Could it be a gallstone?
Yeah, and so it was just hilarious. But yeah, so this is what happens when you sit and watch TV nonstop.
Oh,
You
absolutely. Like
become,
all the
yeah.
professional all the
Oh yeah.
professional soccer players in North
Oh yeah.
America now.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Yeah. Yeah, so I have also been watching soccer. Like this is the first time I got
Hmm.
involved in soccer, speaking of which.
Nice.
And the only reason why is because it's in my hometown. Like I said,
Oh
the
yeah.
stadium's like 3 miles away from where I am, and there's a whole traffic issue. But like I said, I left work early and worked from home on those days when they had
Mm-hmm.
games. But like our town, little Kansas City, like everybody has loved it. They've said glowing things online. All the people who visited
Nice.
loved it. So yay us, go Kansas City.
You
So
did it.
we did it. Let's see, loan. I'm behind on a loan only
Hmm.
because we're so tired.
You gotta teach that kitten to watch Alone.
Oh, I know that kitten needs to settle down, but not really because I love the spunkiness. I
Hmm.
do. And House of the Dragon, still plugging through that one. It's not the same. Like nothing will be the same as the first Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like it just won't be. And so I don't love it. I like it. I don't love it.
What if you wait for it, bailed?
Mm.
Or
But also dragons. How can I bail on dragons? Because I'm in it for the dragons. I'm not
Oh,
in it
well,
for
in that
anything
case,
else.
what you need to start doing is fast forwarding through everything that's not a dragon.
Mm. But a lot of it is dragony. And it's dragony
Mm.
because they're wild dragons. So there are some wild dragons out there. And then there's some, it's kind of interesting because it's like the imprint. It's almost like the whole, remember Avatar and also, gosh,
Twilight.
imprinting is everything. Yeah, I was gonna say Twilight. Wait, it's there and it's a Twilight, so it's kind of that thing.
Mm.
Like either the dragon's gonna be okay with you or he's gonna burn you, or she's gonna burn
Hmm.
you, like either or. And it's all about the dragons right now. Like it's you want it, you're rooting for the I'm rooting for the dragon every time.
Like for the dragon to eat the people?
Uh, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Because some of the people are just mean, but then they make their dragons mean.
Oh, that's not good.
I don't like that. Like
Hmm.
if I had a dragon, I would have a fierce dragon, but also a nice dragon. I would
Yeah,
have a dragon that wouldn't be afraid to fight,
sure.
but wouldn't seek out to fight.
Oh, it wouldn't start a fight, but it would end a fight.
Exactly. That would be my dragon. Like
Yes.
we should come up with dragon names and this could be a whole thing.
All
You're
right,
like,
you
no,
go.
it can't. Never mind. So that's enough about me. What have you been reading and watching or playing?
Okay. So, Drag Race All Stars season 11 is going into the finale. There are six
Oh,
people going to the finale because it is a lip sync SmackDown finale. So, that should be
ooh.
fun. There's been some absolutely excellent lip syncs this season. So, that's
Oh,
been really good. I've been
nice.
enjoying it. It'll be over soon. And Canada's Drag Race is having its first All Stars season, which
Ooh,
I'm pretty excited about. So they've had 5 or 6 main seasons now. So they've actually had enough main seasons to start doing All Stars
that's
seasons.
nice. Yeah.
Right? So it's like so cool to see them do that. Watch the first episode, had a great time, was very sad to see who got sent home the first episode, but somebody had to go. But also, what's fun? So, usually in Canada's Drag Race, the main host and judge is Brooklyn Heights, who competed in season, I forget, of the main US Drag Race, but she is Canadian. And then there's two other, like there's a stylist, and then I forget Brad Goreski. And then I forget what Tracy Melchor, what else she does, but she's some kind of a media personality, and they're the judging panel. But for this All Stars, they brought back the winner of season 1 to be on the judging panel with Brooklyn, and they brought back Jimbo, who was on season 1, but actually was on one of the American All Stars ones. So
Hmm.
it's all drag queens on the panel. So I find that very exciting. Otherwise, we also, okay, so I think I mentioned before, we're going back and watching movies from like the 80s and 90s, just as
Hmm.
like kind of a fun nostalgic thing. We picked one to watch. So we watched The Birdcage. We rewatched it with friends. And so we picked for our next movie. None of us had seen it. Oh, sorry. I think our
Oh,
friend's girlfriend, I think she had seen it. But it was on the list of like, if you liked Death Becomes Her, you should watch. So we are like, okay, great. Don't know much about it. We watched The Witches of Eastwick. Did you ever see that?
yes. I saw it back when it came out. Haven't seen it since, but yes.
I'm gonna say it doesn't. I don't feel like I know I didn't see it originally. I don't feel like it held up, and I don't think any of us felt like it held up because we got to the end and we're looking at more information, and I was like, wait, that movie was a comedy? Like,
Yeah.
genuinely had no idea that it was supposed to be a comedy. And so, for the people that haven't seen it, it's based on a John Irving novel.
Mm.
It has Cher, Susan Sarandon, and Michelle Pfeiffer, and they're all friends. They're all single. I think they're all divorced, or one of them might be widowed. And
I
they
can't
kind of
remember.
make this like wish for a man to come to town, and they sort of like list the qualities, and it ends up being Jack Nicholson, which is like, I'm
Stop,
sorry,
I know.
this guy who
What?
looks like
Yeah.
this for these women, but basically they got what they wished for, and
Hmm.
listen, this movie's like 40 years old. I don't care about spoiling it.
Yeah.
He's a demon or he's the devil or
Hmm.
something like that. And I wonder if part of why it doesn't feel funny, which is kind of similar to what I was saying about some of the Birdcage, is that it's supposed to be like this small town, and I think the like religiosity or whatever of the locals and how they're like so uptight because they're religious, like I think that was supposed to be like over the top and comedic,
And it's
and it's worse now.
yeah, I was gonna
Like,
say it's like reflective now. Ugh.
yeah, so it was just one of those like, what, we're all watching it going like, is what is
Yeah.
happening, what is the tone, what is this supposed to, what? So anyway, at least I can say now I've seen it. That's a true fact. that
Mhm.
I can say. John Williams did the score for that movie. Like, so much money went into it. And it was funny because I was talking to my aunt the following week.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Watch that.
money.
She goes, "Oh, yeah, that was a great movie." And I was like, "Really?" And she said, "I saw it when it came out." And I was like, "Oh,
Right.
fair
Yeah.
enough."
I mean, yeah, because even like all the rom-coms, from back in the 90s, like
Yeah.
they did not hold up well. But we loved them back then.
Yes. There's some like there are some here that like I said, I was really surprised by how well Death Becomes Her holds up, but I think
Hmm.
it's because this whole idea of body modification feels even more relevant today,
Right.
especially when it's in service of like eternal youth and all
Hmm.
of that. So, yeah, don't watch The Witches of Eastwick.
No, thank you.
I forget what we chose. Oh, I think we're gonna do Big
I'm
Trouble in
dying.
Little China next.
Okay.
And then I said I want to watch because I've heard it's very good. I'd like to watch a genuinely good rom-com from that time. I think we're gonna watch Moonstruck.
Okay. So Kurt Russell has amazing hair,
Hmm.
and Moonstruck, Cher's got some pretty good lines.
She
Cher's
won an
always had
Oscar
really
for
good.
it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. That has, is it Nicolas Cage in there?
Hmm.
Okay, so yeah, well, that was a long time ago too.
I
I
know.
haven't seen it since then, I don't think,
I'll
since
report
it came
back
out.
when we
Yeah,
eventually get to it.
Moonstruck. Yeah.
And I'm reading a book right now called Ice Princesses by Maria Ragu, who I haven't heard of before. But I read about it in JJ Arias talked about it in her
Mm.
newsletter. She said it was something she read and she loved.
Oh.
And so this one is set in the world of ice skating. So Isabella Pierce, she was like a skating star. She, did incredible. And both of her parents were figure skaters. And so now she's a commentator. She's kind of
Hmm.
seen as part of like a dynasty. And then there's the other person is Cecilia. She's a coach from Argentina. It's interesting. So like Isabella is running this program to try to like help talent from parts of the world that don't traditionally thrive. In like there's certain
Oh,
countries that
yeah.
tend to dominate figure skating. And
Right.
so that's how, Cecilia comes in with this kid and they sort of like ran into each other in the past. Cecilia is very protective of her skater and she remembers Isabella saying something kind of offhand that it turns
Mm.
out she kind of took the wrong way, but it made her really doubt herself as a skater. And so that it's this like
Hmm.
forced proximity because they're both at the same rink. And I don't want to shock you, they're both super hot. So of course they end up
What?
attracted to each other. I'm really enjoying it. It's super fun. I'm almost halfway through and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. So,
Nice.
yeah, that's a good one. And it's on Kindle Unlimited. So, if anybody has that going and they're looking for the next read, that could be a fun one. So, all right, Kris, what is your official
Yes.
recommendation?
So, my official recommendation is a 2022 coming of age movie called Crush.
Okay.
And you can watch it now on Hulu. I don't know where else you can watch it, but that's where I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
So, within the first 5 minutes, I knew I was going to love it. I knew
Ooh,
I was going to love
okay.
it. I was thinking about the last recommendation, Riley, and what I
Mm-hmm.
said about how queerness nowadays, when they try to portray it as, it's a lot easier for kids to come out and
Mm-hmm.
or even be out. So this wasn't even that. Like this is the queerness was already established. Everybody knows that the main character Paige is out. She's been in love with this other queer girl at school, Gabriella, and that has been her goal. Like she's had two goals in her life. One is to go to art school. She's a junior in college
Mm-hmm.
or in high school. And her second is to be Gabriella's girlfriend. Like that's those are her two dreams. That's what she's ever wanted in her whole life.
Cute.
So here's the little blurb, the movie blurb. When a young artist is forced to join her high school track team, she uses it as a chance to pursue the girl for whom she's been harboring a crush. But she finds herself falling for an unexpected teammate and discovering what real love feels like. Look at
Oh,
that look. You just gave me a look.
fun.
It is a very fun movie. Super cute and it has like Heartstopper vibes. That
Mm-hmm.
whole series. Just like
Yes.
feel good and you just nothing about it makes you uncomfortable. It's just so wonderful. It was a delightful movie. I think you could even watch it with your high schooler,
I know. I
which I still
know.
can't
Who
get
can
over.
believe?
I can't. No, 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 no. It's fresh and fun. And guess who the mom is?
Who?
Megan Mullally,
Oh, fun.
the mom.
Love
And
that.
she is so wonderful as a mother, very supportive.
Hmm.
Like she will talk to her daughter, hey, so I got these dental dams. And Paige is like, Mom, we don't use those. And she's like, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave them here. If you don't use them, I still have the receipt, that kind of things. Or she'll
Hmm.
put like supportive books on her bed and just leave,
Cute.
just absolutely just like the mom you want as a queer kid, like the mom
Yeah.
you want for sure. And her best friend, this part kills me. The character Paige, she's kind of quirky, she's awkward, she's super cute. She
Hmm.
doesn't know, like, she doesn't go to high school parties, and her best friend is like running for class president, and his girlfriend
Hmm.
is also running for class president. And here's the funniest fucking thing. So her best friend is gay, but
Hmm.
in real life. But he's playing a straight in this movie. And I think they kind of poke fun at it because every single time they're together, he and his girlfriend, they make out. They're just making out the whole time. And it's
Hmm.
just it's one of those where I don't know if it's like tongue in cheek and they're kind of making fun because for so long straight people have played queer people. And so I don't
Mm.
know if this is one of those where there's an obviously gay person playing a straight person. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you could tell that they were really like poking at that.
Hmm.
So, but every single time they got together, it was hilarious. They would just make out. Like it's just
That's funny.
let's make out, let's make out. And so it was just cute. It was funny.
Hmm.
And like this chock full of super awesome quotes. So I saved two because
Hmm.
you, of all people, will appreciate this. I really think you need to watch this movie.
Okay.
So let me see if I can find them. So stop sharing without consent. It's
Nice.
horrifying. It's horrifying. That was the whole quote.
That's so
That
funny.
made me laugh. That made me laugh. And this one, this is a sex positive household page. Shame does not live here. That's the mom. Yeah. So I
Fun.
just like there were so many cute quotes and I really, really enjoyed it. Like, obviously, it doesn't go the way you think it is. Her whole life she's wanted to go for, this
Hmm.
one thing. It doesn't really work that way. Also, Michelle
Yep.
Buteau, she's the principal.
Nice.
Yes. So
She's
there's going to be
great.
I know. So there's that element. Like the cast is actually superb. I love this cast. I love
Nice.
everything about this. And it's so teenage-ish that it took me back, but in a
Hmm.
good way. So like it's very nostalgic. And I was like, oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember doing that. So it was just fun to
Yeah.
watch because I hadn't seen that in a while. So like I said, you can definitely watch this with your high schooler. And I think it's only an hour and a half. It's not very long. And then there's a little bit of a mystery to the storyline. So it's not just about her trying to get with Gabriella. There's like a little mystery that she's trying to solve along the way. So
Hmm.
it's really cute. So I loved it. It had happy queer stuff, 100% like low angst, just love,
Lovely.
happiness, support. It was all good. There wasn't anything bad. So I highly recommend it.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah, it really is. I was surprised. And I started watching it and I was like, this is really cute. How come I didn't look this up before?
Hmm.
I think it's safe to watch with the family, with the kids. They do discuss sex, but not like really in depthly, just like I said,
Yeah.
the dental dams, things like that, just safe sex and things.
Hmm.
So, Crush 2022. That is my official recommendation. What about you, Tara? What is your official recommendation?
Okay, so it is a book that came out. I can't remember if it was earlier this month or last month, but it's pretty recent and it's called The Guest Book by Mae Marvel. Marvel?
Hmm,
Mae Marvel? Well,
Mae
that's
Marvel,
probably
I don't
how
know.
I should have said it in the first place. Why did I say Marvel? Like, it
Because you're
doesn't
Canadian.
matter. Yeah, it's my Canadian accent.
That's
That's
right.
what happened.
American is Marble, Canadian is Marvel.
Mhm. So the two leads. it's interesting. I wouldn't call this an opposites attract as much as just that they've had wildly different lives.
Mm.
And it's these two women, and they meet at an inn in a small town in the UK. And so there's Cosima Frank. She was raised the daughter of, I'm trying to think the best way to put it is almost like if George Lucas and Carrie Fisher were one person, in the sense that her mother was the head of this studio, but her career kind of like originated in this very popular sci-fi series. Like she was the lead of the series and she ended up, growing to become this like mogul. So that's why I say it's like Carrie Fisher
Ah,
as one of the stars of Star Wars, except also if she were the creator of it and had a studio like George Lucas did.
wow.
Cosima is an only child. Her mother recently died.
Mm.
She has been given the job of like, you have to name the person who's running the studio now. She is going to have to find a new place to live. She's almost 30, so like it's fine. She's almost 30 and she's rich, so like it'll
I
be
was gonna
fine.
say, I don't feel bad for her. She should
Right?
have
But the
money.
house that she lived in with her mother and stepfather, her stepfather also has to get the fuck out of his own house because the mother has basically said, we're going to turn it into a museum. She's trying to figure out what to do with all this. She had been doing a bucket list with her mom, and she's like, fuck it. I'm going to go cross the last item off the bucket list, which is to go to this inn in the UK, which is the place where her parents met and fell in love in the first place. So that's her. She gets there and she mostly stays locked in her room. So we kind of see like how she ends up going there. The other person, Edie, when we first meet Edie, we see her at the inn. We don't see kind of her life at home in Green Bay, Wisconsin,
Mm.
but she is kind of like licking her wounds because she had to close her business, which had been her dream. She had like a vegan cheese shop. She was an award-winning cheese maker of this vegan cheese, but unfortunately it was located in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So I think like there are some kind of rom-com vibes to this, but
Hmm.
I enjoyed it so much that I questioned if it was a rom-com. So because
Oh, because yeah.
I love romances and I have mixed experiences with
Right.
rom-coms. But she's decided like so she's half English and so she's gone to like this inn is affordable, but she doesn't have very much money. And so it's not like she can go travel all over the UK, and so she's mostly just staying there. She's asking the elderly woman who owns it and runs it like, "Come on, can I bake something?" And she's like, "Get the fuck out of my kitchen." "No, you can't." "Okay, well, can I help like clean the sitting room?" "No, get the fuck out of my it's, go do so. You want to do something? Fine. Take this tray of food up to that lady who's staying up in her room."
Mm.
That is how they meet. And
Mhm.
she invites Cosima to go for a walk. And so they do. And they have nothing in common, but they get along. And it's almost this like because Edie isn't intimidated by Cosima's fame. Like lots of people know who she is. Like she looks like her mother and all that. And so they start sort of spending time together. And there's this thunderstorm one night, and it was so loud, like they both kind of end up on the main floor and they dig into the guest book, which like neither of them had touched. Because again, Morag, who runs the inn, is like, get the fuck away from my guest book. Like she's just this lovably crabby woman who's like, look, I'm almost 90. Let me do what I'm going to do. And they realize like it's not just that they're going through and they're like, oh, there's like some kind of a coded sort of situation here. And Morag's like, fine, there's a treasure hunt. And it was a treasure hunt that was created by this mystery writer. And
Cool.
she's like, you need to go and do this. But the treasure hunt is going to take them to other places in England, to France, and to Spain. And Edie's like, well, have fun doing it. I can't travel. And Morag's like, I'm going to pay for you to go do this. And so you're going to
Oh,
do it. And so they do. They go to
rich
different.
friends are fun. Mm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Along the way, of course, because it's a romance, they find love, but like it was so good and so interesting
Ah.
because they're so different. So, like I said, Cosmo was raised by an extremely famous mother who's also like, yes, she's a star. She's also like a Hollywood mogul. And now Cosmo has to figure out who she's going to be because she's always like, she worked for her mom. She's always kind of did what it was that she was told to do, but her mom isn't there to be a driving force anymore. So like who is Cosmo? What does she want? And something that was really interesting was seeing her find herself surprised to realize that she's attracted to Edie because
Hmm.
she knew that she was somewhere on the arrow spectrum, but she'd never been attracted to anybody before. She'd never been in a relationship before. She'd never slept with
Oh.
anybody before. And all of a sudden she's like, oh,
Hmm.
now I know where I am on the spectrum. It's demisexual because I'm into this one specific person that I've gotten to know. And then Edie, on the other hand, she's never quite felt like she fit in. She's always felt a little bit like the odd person out. And some of that seems to really come down to like she has ADHD, and the ADHD rep, I felt like it was so good that if I didn't already knew that I had it, I would probably be going to talk to my doctor.
Hmm.
I love this one moment where she's like, I actually have to focus when an unformed thought wiggles its way in. Be quiet before it wiggles its way back out. And I start thinking about frosting recipes. Like this idea of like trying to grasp the thought that you want to have it and grabbing it before it lets go. My other her favorite thing she says, because this was very much me, especially when my youngest was very, well, both my kids when they were young and I was still drinking coffee. This is why I don't drink coffee anymore. So it's after the first time they sleep together. They don't get very much sleep that night. And so they're like going to, checks. I can't remember if they're in Spain or France at that point. I think they're in Spain. And she's like, "How are you so awake right now? I don't understand." And Cosmo's like, "Because I had a triple espresso. I didn't turn that down." And she said, "I can't have caffeine on an when I've had no sleep,
Hmm.
or else I see colors that don't exist." And like, yeah, that idea of like if you haven't slept and you have a brain like that and you try to put caffeine on it and it just starts to, you just having this like, whoa, like my brain, is it working properly? No, it's not. One of the things I also really enjoyed, like as they start to get to know each other and it starts this kind of joke that continues on through the rest, is they decide to make a game out of which one of them has had the saddest life. And so,
Oh.
right? Because Cosima can pull the "my mom just died" card, but
Right.
Edie can also pull the "well, I had to shut down my cheese shop, which was my ultimate dream" card. I also love it's a vegan cheese shop and it's called Fromage, Fauxmage. Like, how cute is
Ah.
that?
Yeah, that's cute.
It's this really lovely, like they've both gone to this place because they're in a way they're kind of trying to avoid that next step in their lives and also that chance to just kind of like, I need to do a little bit of healing, I need to do a little bit of pouting, whatever that might be. So Cosmo has to choose that studio head, and it's going to be a problem because it's a publicly traded company. Edie has to go work a job that she doesn't really want to do. Her mom managed to get it for
Right.
her. But as they get to know each other, they really do show up for each other. And I think we really especially see it on Cosmo's side. And I love these because it also gets at like I think the voice in this is so singular. Like I feel like I've never read anything quite like this book before because of the voice that's there. And it's not something that I talk about very often because it's kind of hard to describe. So I pulled two quotes. You can tell I love this book because I pulled quotes
You
for it,
did
right?
quotes. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So the first one is I can't remember sort of the context around it, but Cosima just basically like reflecting on how Edie feels other people perceive her or something like that. And it says Cosima blinked, her eyes stung, which was absurd. Who was this woman who made gourmet vegan food and dreamed about romantic history while wearing what were obviously her brother's cast off pants for pajamas? How had someone so singular and imaginative not found a better place than a foam hat cheesehead town that made fun of her for not being the same as everyone else?
Mm.
And it's like, in a very short set of words, it's so funny and it's so poignant all at the same time. And you can see that, like, oh, Cosima sees her in a way that Edie feels like even her own family doesn't see her. And I just think
Wow.
it's lovely. And then another example of it that I think is so beautiful and kind of heartbreaking at the same time, and it goes back to the ADHD rep thing. This is when they have the guest book. And like I said, the whole treasure hunt thing, like a lot of it comes down to there's a code that has to be deciphered. And Cosmo's really good at that. Like she's able to do code breaking type stuff. And so she says, you have to pay attention when I explain. Cosmo put her hand over the page with the cipher, frowning at Edie. I'll try my hardest if you ignore my distracting, stimming behaviors. Edie stood up to change her position to the table, and then Cosmo says, I don't mind your squirming and wiggling. And I just love that, like, it can be
That's sweet.
said outright like that without any judgment. Like, yeah, it's
Right.
okay that you wiggle. It's okay that you squirm. That's just how your body moves. And there's even another point where she talks, where she's reflecting that she actually appreciates how much she wiggles because it helps her understand where she is, like within a physical space. Because Cosmo's not used to being touched. She's a part of like a social
Mm.
circle where it's all about looking at each other, but it's not necessarily about touching each other. So I just thought that was super interesting. The location, so like I said, it's I actually love that it's about two Americans spending time in the UK and in Europe. We don't actually see them in the US. The inn is like its own character, and there's also like it has the history there of Cosmo's family and also for the
Right.
side characters. I'm not going to actually talk at all about the mystery of the treasure hunt. Just know that there is a mystery. There is a treasure hunt. They're
Mm-hmm.
going from place to
Mm-hmm.
place. I really enjoyed it. About halfway through their search, I was like, I wonder if it's about
Mm.
X. And here's the thing. Sometimes when I'm able to predict stuff in books, it almost bums me out because it's like that was so predictable.
Yeah.
That was not the case this time. So I
Ooh.
was correct, but it was also incredibly satisfying, the payoff for like
Nice.
what it was and how it worked. I absolutely loved it. So the other thing I'm going to say that was actually really cool about this book, which I realized kind of later on, is Mae Marvel is the pen name of two co-authors, Ruthie Knox and Annie Mayer. I recommended one of Annie Mayer's books last year, but not only are they authors, they're married to each other. So I
No.
thought, how cool is that?
That is cool.
So I just think it's a really special book. I've never read anything quite like it before. I think the premise is unique, the characters are so unique, and the voice is just, like I said, it's so singular, it's so unique. I really loved it. And I think this is one of those stories that's going to be sticking with me for a while. So it's called The Guest Book, and I highly recommend it.
That sounds very cool. I
It
like
is
it.
pretty good. I do love it when I
Mm.
find a good book that I love. All right. That is all for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you've enjoyed the show and you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you subscribe on your podcast app. If you have a friend that you think would like to check out Crush or the guest book or anything else we've talked
Ooh.
about today, please tell them about our show because it helps more people learn about it and find the queer media that maybe they're going to love. And if you want to support us, we do have a link in our show notes to our coffee.
If you want to connect with us on your favorite social media sites, is there such a thing? Are there favorites anymore?
Um, there are least worst ones.
That's true. They're better than others. Some of them are better than others. I like
Mhm.
threads, but look in the show notes. We have all of the links for that, or you can just email us at podcast@queerlyrecommended.com. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.